Cosero, and I'm doing a PowerPoint presentation on the state of the economy in Germany. So there are several key macroeconomic variables that contribute to the overall state of the economy in Germany. Recently, Germany has experienced a season of economic growth. This can clearly be seen by the rises in both GDP and GDP per capita within the country. From 2015 to 2016 and 2016 to 2017, the country's GDP grew 2.2% each year. Along with the GDP growth in the past several years, the GDP per capita has also grown at a steady rate. In 2016, the per capita GDP grew 2% from just over $41,000 to just over $42,000. In 2017, it grew by an even larger rate of 5.7%, up to over $44,000. And in 2018, the per capita GDP rose even further, up to $50,800. And it is clear, based on the spikes in GDP and GDP per capita, that Germany has been able to successfully stabilize and grow its economy. There are several key macroeconomic variables that can tell us about these growths in GDP and GDP per capita within the economy. For instance, in Germany, unemployment rates remain relatively low at just 3.7%. For reference, right now, the United States unemployment rate is 4%, so Germany has been able to achieve an even slightly better rate than that. In addition to the low unemployment rates, Germany's inflation rates also remain low at 1.7%. Currently, the United States inflation rate is at 2.9%, so Germany has been able to achieve a rate far lower than even the United States has. In addition to the low unemployment rates and low inflation rates, Germany has managed to gain a record-breakingly large trade surplus, which has boosted its economy. And that trade surplus is approximately $290 million, one of the biggest in history. And there are many different macroeconomic variables that contribute to Germany's recent economic success, but the combination of low unemployment rates, low inflation rates, and a large surplus are three of the main influential variables within the economy. Next, we're going to look at a couple problems that the economy has been experiencing in Germany, potentially. And while these are not necessarily alarming issues, they are definitely areas in which Germany could improve their economy. And because of Germany's recent success, like I said, the problems aren't glaringly urgent or obvious, but there are several key ways that they can improve. One of those ways would be improving their overall economic freedom ranking. Currently, Germany is ranked 25th in this category in the world, and while many of the rankings have stayed relatively high, some have declined in the past year. And the economic freedom ranking takes into account 4 major categories and gives the country scores on each of the categories. And so it takes into account rule of law, government size, regulatory efficiency, and open markets. So Germany's ranking is not necessarily bad, but there definitely is some room for improvement, as they have declined in both business freedom and trade freedom, among other things, in the past several years. Another area of improvement could be the country's per capita GDP, which ranks 27th among countries. And while the per capita GDP has steadily increased over the past several years, there is still room for Germany to be able to improve. And as I mentioned earlier, the current per capita GDP in 2018 got up to $50,800. So as they do continue to improve, that's going to be key. And lastly, Germany could improve in their final household consumption expenditure, where they currently rank 33rd among countries. And final household consumption expenditure refers to the percentage of a country's GDP that is made up of household spending. So currently, 53.26% of Germany's GDP is a result of household spending. And just for reference, the United States' final household consumption expenditure is on average always above 65%. So Germany's is significantly lower than the United States. Next, we're going to look at a couple policy solutions that could potentially help Germany improve in these several key areas. So improving the overall economic freedom ranking comes by improving the individual rankings. So one major area that Germany can improve in the regulatory efficiency is the skyrocketing electricity costs. Because of the government's commitment to renewable energy, Germany currently has some of the highest electricity costs in all of Europe. And lowering these costs could improve their overall ranking of 25th because it would increase monetary freedom, which would in turn increase regulatory efficiency as a whole. In addition, improving the country's per capita GDP, which is currently ranked 27th, could be done by putting more money in the hands of individuals in order to purchase different goods and services. Right now, tax reductions could work to boost per capita GDP in Germany. Currently, the top personal tax rate in Germany is 47.5%, so that's relatively high. By reducing the tax rate, it would likely improve the per capita GDP within the country as a whole. Higher tax rates slow down economic growth as people are less inclined to spend money on goods and services. Lowering tax burden could have positive effects on the economy at large. And just for reference, the U.S. top personal tax rate right now is under 40%, so Germany's is definitely on the higher side. And in addition, improving the final household consumption expenditure starts with also encouraging spending by individuals. One of the categories in final household expenditure is electricity, which we just mentioned. Germany has some of the highest electricity costs in all of Europe. Currently, the final household consumption expenditure in Germany is 53.26%. And this is certainly a number that should continue to rise. And could do so as Germany lowers electricity costs for its citizens. Next, we're going to look at some of the business and investment opportunities that Germany has. So Germany as a country provides tremendous opportunities for businesses and investing. Governmental policies remain very open and loose when it comes to international investing, making it rather low risk. In addition, the market remains fairly free and allows for importing and exporting rather easily. Currently in Germany, tariffs remain relatively low compared to other countries, so they really like trading and do a lot of trading within the country. Germany's economy has also stabilized in recent years, making it much less risky to do business in the country. So we talked earlier about the booming GDP and GDP per capita and how those have increased significantly over the past couple of years, and Germany's economy has truly stabilized and making it a smart and safe option for business opportunities. In addition, Germany's framework supports entrepreneurial activity to flourish as well as anywhere in the world. So monetary freedom has increased since the economy has stabilized, making Germany a great place for business and investing. And this is a graph that just shows how free Germany's economy is. So right here, it is the mostly free category right here. Germany's right there in that mostly free section at 74.2% a free economy. And that is my presentation. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate it.